The good, the bad, the ugly.
This is Max Forte again to bring you another installment of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. This is an idea of a video that was started by Marc from the Robes 08 channel, which I really tip my hat off to him because this was a fantastic idea, a great idea, and I'm following suit, and I hope he doesn't mind. This is my second rendition of this. The first one I had done, the Tom Ford Private Blend line, and now I'm bringing you Lartisan Parfumeur. As you see here, right in front of your eyes, there's about 11 fragrances from the Lartisan Parfumeur, and again, as he stated, I'm going to state as well, this is not even scratching the surface. You know, L'Artisan has so many fragrances, hundreds of them. So this is like the little tiny tip of the iceberg, but it'll give you a little bit, on the brand and what they carry, which, I believe is one of the most amazing niche houses. I absolutely adore what they do by taking a note and then embellishing that note, surrounding it with different accords and making, a fragrance with that particular note, such as COEUR de VETIVER SACRE. This is like a vetiver based fragrance, which is unbelievable in my opinion. And then you have other fragrances like Pime brûlant, which is basically a pepper based fragrance, which is also amazing. And I did kind of the same thing he did. I went from like my favorite to my least favorite. That doesn't mean my least favorite is not a good fragrance. They're all great juices. It's just from my nose, from my body chemistry, from my experience with the particular fragrance might not be the best for me, but it might work for you. What is my last favorite? For example, I'll give you a perfect example here. My least favorite is actually Zing, and when Marc did his video, this was actually his favorite fragrance. So we're different in some aspects. Tea for Two is my favorite fragrance, and I think for the most part everybody agrees that it's a great fragrance. But a lot of times, a fragrance will be everyone's favorite, like a Ventus, but sometimes we'll agree to disagree. Anyway, so I'm going to give you a one-on-one here on these guys, just so you can get a little bit of a little bit of insight of each one of these guys. And I'm going to start with my most favorite one, which is Tea for Two, obviously. So Tea for Two is beautiful fragrance, very hard to get. Tea for Two. Prices are skyrocketing on this guy. This is an aromatic, spicy fragrance, which is warm, cozy, sweet. Just a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. This was launched in 2000. It was discontinued, so hence the difficulty to find it. And because it was discontinued, obviously supply and demand, the prices are skyrocketing on this guy. I was able to find this one. It doesn't have the cap, but you know what? I got it for a very good price, so I'm not complaining. It's a phenomenal scent. I'm very happy to have gotten this fragrance. And again, I'm not going to complain that it doesn't have the cap. So, this has amazing, notes. It's got star anise, it's got spices, has cinnamon, ginger. Obviously, it has tea, tobacco, leather, honey, vanilla. It's just a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. And to me, this is my favorite from the house. It just smells great, and it's one that I really appreciate. I'm really happy to have been able to purchase it. The second most favorite for me of the brand is none other than COEUR de VETIVER SACRE. I love this fragrance. This fragrance is on the sweet side as well. It is very inviting. This is a woody spicy, by the way. It's very cozy. It's very aromatic. You know, this was created in 2010, and it has notes of date, guaiac wood, rose, saffron, iris, a little bit of malic. It's got a little bit of castoreum, musk, incense, but it's just a beautiful fragrance overall. This is definitely the second favorite of the house for me. I love this fragrance. It's extremely nice, and I think a lot of people like this one. Which brings me to the third, number 3 of the good, bad, and the ugly, which is none other than Méchant Loup. Now, Méchant Loup is a fragrance that a lot of people like it, so it's no surprise that it sits at number 3 for me. And as you see, I used a lot of this juice. I was very enamored and very happy when I first got this. And my significant other really loves it on my skin. It's a woody spicy, again, very inviting, very cozy. You have hazelnut, you have vetiver, you have pralines, woodsy honey. It's just so beautiful, so inviting, so cozy, so warm. This thing is a beautiful, beautiful fragrance, and that is why it is my number 3 at my good, bad, and the ugly. Number 4 is a very exotic, intriguing fragrance from this line, and it is none other than Zanka. And I know that a lot of people have this higher up in their lists, and I understand, you know, why they would do that, because it is a very intriguing fragrance. I appreciate this fragrance a lot. This is a beautiful woody spicy. It's got a very enigmatic scent to it. It's quite unique on this woody spicy, which was created in 2006. You have iris, spices, vetiver. You have a note of papyrus. There's leather, incense. Again, it's very, very unique. And they also have lychee, which gives us a very intriguing smell, to say the least. I think this is a very underrated fragrance from the brand. I don't hear much about it, you know. So Zanka is my number 4 here on my good, bad, and the ugly, and it's one that I really adore. Number 5. Number 5 is Timbuktu. Timbuktu is one that's gotten some love in the community. I've heard things about Timbuktu here and there. It's not something that it's totally forgotten and not talked about. You know, it's gotten some attention, and rightfully so. You know, Timbuktu is a nice fragrance. It is it's considered a woody sheep. I find it very refreshing, very green. It's got some incense. It's very well balanced. This was released in 2004, by the way. It has mango up top, which is very nice. You have myrrh at the bottom, patchouli, papyrus. I mean, it's a very, very nice fragrance. It's extremely well blended. I like to wear this in spring and summertime, especially dressed up. This thing gets a lot of compliments, and it's one that I really enjoy. So Timbuktu, number 5 on my good, bad, and the ugly on the Lartisan. Here's one that I absolutely love for the fall. This is Traversée du Bosphore. This is a beautiful fragrance, one that I absolutely adore, and I think that, you know, a couple reviewers have talked about this. I think it does deserve a little more attention. This is a leather-based fragrance from 2010. You have sugar, you have pomegranate, spices, apple, saffron, iris, rose, pistachio. It has tulips. I mean, it's a very intriguing fragrance, to say the least. And it's beautiful fragrance, great for the fall and for the winter time. This is where I like this most. This smells almost edible, almost like a Turkish delight. It's so nice, and it's supposed to be a take on the travels of Turkey and the Middle Eastern travels, so to speak, hence the name Traversée du Bosphore. So this is a beautiful fragrance. Look at the color of this juice. It's so beautiful. Again, this is one of my favorites for the fall and winter. When I do my favorite for fall and winter, this will probably definitely make the list. So that was number 6. And the next one here we have Jour de Fête. Jour de Fête is a very good fragrance, a little bit on the linear side, a little bit on the, it's an oriental spicy, but it doesn't scream out. If this thing projected a little bit more and had a little bit more of longevity on my skin, it would probably rank higher up on the fragrances here. This was a 2004 creation. It has a very unique wheat note in it, some almonds, iris, and vanilla. So it's rather simplistic, again, rather linear, but a very good scent. I like this casual, like this in the fall also, in spring. It is a very nice fragrance to just wear around the house, one that I get compliments. This was released in 2004. Then we have L'Eau de Navigateur. L'Eau de Navigateur is a very beautiful, the L'Eau de Navigateur is a woody spicy, it's a very nice fragrance, it's a little bit strong, it resembles a little bit, for my nose, gives me a little bit of the pure coffee from Amen feel. It's got coffee, spices, woody notes, it has rum, incense, leather, and it's a beautiful fragrance. This was created in 1979, so it's one of the older ones. I think it was definitely ahead of its time, and it's one that I really, really enjoy. Even though it's down here, it could have been up on the ranks. It's just one that I tend to wear mostly in the winter time. I didn't put much of a dent in this thing, but it is one that I really appreciate as well. Coming up next, we have Bois Farine. Now, Bois Farine, it gives you the feel of a peanut butter cookie, believe it or not, which is a funny thing. This is a floral, woody musk. Again, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Jour de Fête, which, in the sense that it's very linear and it has a very subtle smell. So I like to wear this around the house. I like to wear this around spring and fall. This was created in 2003. It has iris, sandalwood, musk, a little bit of flowers, guaiac wood, and it has some powdery notes. It is rather powdery, but it was, this was also created by Jean-Claude Elena, which is amazing. It is a very nice, unique scent, but it doesn't have much projection. It doesn't have much stand out from my skin. It kind of, dissipates and goes away very quickly. That's why it's down here on my list. So that was Bois Farine. Now, these two here, they're ranking lower, but they're great fragrances, and this one here brings me to what I want to talk about as far as reviewers and what got me started in doing this. Obviously, the two reviewers that piqued my interest, if you will, on buying more of Lartisan, because up to about a year ago, I had only about 4 fragrances from the house, and this year I got a few acquisitions, as you see. About a year ago I started getting a lot more into the Lartisan, and Raj from 8RK7, which I'll put the link down below, got my interest on this Piment Brûlant when he did the review of this guy, which he said this was almost like it was made for him. He liked it so much. It had a little bit of a hot cocoa vibe, and unfortunately I don't get hot chocolate on this at all. I don't get cocoa. Even though this is oriental spicy, it says it has dark chocolate, cinnamon, cocoa, cloves. I mean, from the list of notes, I was so wanting to love this, but when I sprayed it on my skin, I just didn't get all of that. I got something very close to my skin that didn't project much. It was rather, close to the skin scent and not very unique at all. So unfortunately, not that it wasn't very unique, but it wasn't what I was expecting, so I was kind of disappointed, which is very, very shameful because I wanted to like this so bad. So that's why it's one of the least favorites in my lineup of Lartisans. And Zing, which Marc, Robes 08, did a Good, Bad, and the Ugly, and this ranked as his first. I was so wanting to love this as well, and that's why I got it. And unfortunately, I just thought it was a little weird. It's a woody fragrance. Introduced in 1999, so it's not that old, and the note breakdown was just phenomenal. Leather, ginger, musk, woody notes, cotton candy, apple, saffron, caramel. I mean, I just thought this thing was going to be beautiful. It is rather strong. It is rather challenging, and it makes you think, wow, Lartisan did this? Absolutely, I agree with Marc 100%. But for my skin, it was too challenging in a sense that, it was very animalic, even though there's no animalic notes except for leather. It was a little bit too animalic for my taste. It was a little bit too harsh on my skin, and it was something that was not making me love the scent about it, and I just unfortunately didn't like it. So, I'd have to say that probably Zing and Piment Brûlant would not be in my lineup, in the years to come. But, those 6 over here are just phenomenal. I think Traversée du Bosphore, Timbuktu, Zanka, Méchant Loup, COEUR, SACRE, and T for 2 are just amazing fragrances. And please comment down below. Let me know if there's anything else that I should check into it that I haven't smelled, from Lartisan. I mean, I love this brand. It's one of my favorite brands. If I had to do a top 10 brand, which I'm thinking about doing, this would probably be in there. It's one that I really, really enjoy. So coming up next, the good, the bad, and the ugly. In my opinion, the best from the house, something that's really good and underrated, and the worst from the house in my taste. Alright guys, the good, the best from the house, definitely T for 2. I love T for 2. It's something that really, really shines on my skin. It's very cozy, it's inviting, it's beautiful, and I get a ton of compliments. Unfortunately, it's discontinued, so I can't wear as much as I would love to, but it definitely sits on my number 1, the best, the good from this brand. The bad, underrated from the house. I think that deserves some attention. I don't see much talk about it at all. I would have to go with Zanka. Very intriguing, very unique, very exquisite and exotic fragrance. Beautiful, beautiful fragrance. Needs some attention, guys. Definitely check out Zanka. You will not be disappointed. This is a beautiful woody spicy fragrance. It's unisex and it's got some beautiful notes. It's got the lychee, spices, iris, leather. I mean, it dries down beautifully. It's just a little closer to the skin. You're going to get some projection the first couple hours, but it is a beautiful scent. And the ugly. Unfortunately, the ugly for me, unfortunately, I would put Piment Brûlant. It's something that I really, really looked forward to it. I really wanted to love this. I mean, when I looked at the breakdown of the notes, this thing had some amazing notes. I mean, it had cocoa, cloves, dark chocolate, cinnamon, amber. I mean, I wanted to love this thing, and it just did not sit well on my skin. So that's my take, guys, for the good, the bad, and the ugly on the Lartisan Parfumeur house. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please comment down below. Let me know if there's anything that I should check it out from this house. Please rate, like, and subscribe for more videos, reviews, top videos, and giveaways. Thank you so much. I will talk to you all soon.